Historical RTS games allow us to take the path of great rulers, warlords, and diplomats, explore eras of the past, and lead our nations to glory and greatness. Epic battles, political intrigue, and the opportunity to rewrite history with our own hands await us here. Today, I will present you the 10 best historical RTS games, each of which will immerse you in the exciting world of past eras. Hegemony 3: Clash of the Ancients is a real-time strategy game developed by Longbow Games and released in 2015. It is the third installment in the Hegemony series, known for its focus on historical accuracy and deep strategic gameplay. Hegemony 3 allows players to relive the conflicts and struggles of antiquity as they command armies, manage cities, and expand their empires across a meticulously recreated map of the Mediterranean region. Players must carefully manage their resources, establish trade routes, and maintain supply lines to keep their armies fed and equipped. This adds a layer of realism and strategic depth to the gameplay, as players must consider the logistical challenges of waging war in the ancient world. Moreover, Hegemony 3 offers a dynamic campaign mode where players can choose from various factions, each with its own unique strengths, weaknesses, and objectives. Whether leading the mighty Roman legions, the cunning Carthaginian navy, or the fierce Celtic tribes, players must navigate political intrigue, forge alliances, and conquer territory to achieve victory. Cossacks 3 is a real-time strategy game that takes players back to the 17th and 18th centuries, allowing them to command vast armies of soldiers from various European nations. With its focus on historical accuracy, players can experience the challenges of warfare during this era, managing resources, building economies, and engaging in large-scale battles featuring thousands of units on the battlefield. One of the game's highlights is its faithful recreation of historical armies, technologies, and tactics, providing an immersive and authentic experience. Players can also unleash their creativity with the map editor, crafting custom scenarios to share with others. With its epic battles, deep strategy, and historical immersion, Cossacks 3 offers an engaging experience for both strategy enthusiasts and history buffs alike, allowing them to relive the epic conflicts of the past. As the 9th installment in the Total War series, it offers a gripping and immersive experience set during the decline of the Western Roman Empire and the tumultuous period known as the Migration Period. In Total War, ATTILA, players command one of several factions, including the Roman Empire, the Huns, the Visigoths, and the Ostrogoths, among others. Each faction presents unique challenges and opportunities, as players must navigate political intrigue, manage resources, and engage in strategic battles to survive and thrive in a world ravaged by war, famine, and disease. Set across Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa, the campaign map reflects the chaos and uncertainty of the era, with shifting borders, migrating tribes, and crumbling empires. Players must adapt their strategies to the changing geopolitical landscape, forging alliances, conquering territory, and defending against relentless enemies. Moreover, Total War. ATTILA introduces several new gameplay mechanics and features, including the ability to raise and sack cities, a revamped family tree system, and the introduction of climate change and environmental disasters that can affect gameplay. These additions add depth and complexity to the gameplay, challenging players to consider the long-term consequences of their actions and decisions. Total War: Shogun 2. Set in feudal Japan during the 16th century, it is the 7th installment in the Total War series. In-game players assume the role of a daimyo, or feudal lord, vying for control of Japan during the Sengoku period. They must lead their clan to dominance through military conquest, diplomatic maneuvering, and economic management. The game features a grand campaign mode where players must expand their territory, develop their infrastructure, and engage in epic battles against rival clans to achieve the ultimate goal of unifying Japan under their rule. The game's turn-based campaign map allows players to manage their provinces, recruit armies, forge alliances, and engage in espionage, while the real-time battles provide intense and immersive tactical gameplay. Stronghold Crusader. It is a standalone expansion to the original Stronghold game, set during the Crusades in the Middle East. In Stronghold Crusader, players take on the role of either Crusaders or Arabian forces, as they vie for control over the deserts of the Holy Land. The game features a variety of modes, including a campaign mode with several historical-based scenarios, a skirmish mode. Players must construct and defend their castles, managing resources, constructing fortifications, and recruiting armies to fend off enemy attacks. They can also engage in offensive tactics, launching sieges against enemy castles, and capturing territory to expand their influence. Players can command troops ranging from simple foot soldiers to powerful siege engines, and they can construct a variety of buildings to support their economy and military efforts. With its engaging engaging gameplay, historical setting, and strategic depth, Stronghold Crusader has become a beloved classic among fans of real-time strategy games, whether building impregnable fortresses or leading armies into battle. Set during the Age of Exploration, Age of Empires III allows players to command one of several European powers as they establish colonies, build empires, and engage in epic battles across the Americas. Players must gather resources, train armies, and construct buildings to expand their territory and achieve victory. Players have a home city, which acts as a hub for receiving shipments of resources, units, and upgrades throughout the game. By advancing in level and completing objectives, players can unlock new cards to customize their home city and gain strategic advantages in battle. Moreover, Age of Empires III features stunning graphics and detailed environments that bring the Age of Exploration to life. From lush forests and rolling hills to bustling cities and towering fortresses, the game's visuals immerse players in the rich and vibrant world of the colonial Americas. Total War. Rome 2. Players can choose to lead one of several factions, including Rome, Carthage, Egypt, and the various Greek city-states, among others. Each faction offers a unique playstyle, with its own strengths, weaknesses, and objectives. In the turn-based campaign mode, players must manage their empire, expand their territory, and engage in diplomacy with other factions. They must also develop their economy, recruit armies, and research new technologies to stay ahead of their rivals. One of the standout features of Rome 2 is its epic scale and scope. The game's campaign map spans from the Iberian Peninsula to the Indian subcontinent, encompassing a vast array of regions, cities, and cultures. Players can engage in large-scale battles featuring thousands of soldiers, siege weapons, and naval fleets, all rendered in stunning detail. Company of Heroes. Players control squads of soldiers from the United States Army, the British Commonwealth, or the Wehrmacht of Nazi Germany. The game's campaign mode follows the progress of Allied forces as they fight their way through various theaters of war, including the Normandy landings, the Battle of the Bulge, and the liberation of France. One of the standout features of Company of Heroes is its emphasis on squad-based tactics and dynamic battlefield environments. Players must use cover, terrain, and strategic positioning to outmaneuver and outgun their opponents. The game's innovative True Sight system simulates line of sight and fog of war, allowing for realistic and immersive combat experiences. Company of Heroes features destructible environments and realistic physics, allowing players to demolish buildings, blow up bridges, and create new avenues of attack. The game also includes a robust multiplayer mode where players can compete against each other in intense tactical battles. Knights of Honor. Players take on the role of a medieval ruler, tasked with leading their kingdom to glory and dominance over Europe. They must manage various aspects of their kingdom, including diplomacy, economy, military, and espionage, to achieve their goals. The game features a large, detailed map of Europe with hundreds of cities, each with its own unique characteristics and resources. Players must expand their kingdom through conquest or diplomacy, forging alliances and vassal relationships with other rulers while fending off rivals and external threats. Players can customize their rulers' attributes and skills, build up their infrastructure, recruit armies, and engage in epic battles against other kingdoms. The game also includes a dynamic event system that simulates the political, social, and economic events of the medieval period, adding an extra layer of depth and realism to the gameplay. Ultimate General. Civil War. Players take on the role of a general leading either the Union or Confederate armies through a series of historically inspired campaigns and battles. They must manage their forces, deploy troops, and issue orders in real time to outmaneuver and defeat their opponents. The game features meticulously recreated maps based on actual Civil War battlefields, allowing players to experience the terrain and geography of the era. Players must use the landscape to their advantage, positioning troops strategically and exploiting choke points and defensive positions to secure victory. Players can choose to play as either the Union or Confederate forces and experience the war from both sides. The campaign includes a series of interconnected battles and campaigns, with decisions made in one battle affecting the outcome of subsequent engagements.